Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. You know what? I didn't really. What's today? Okay, I thought it was. I had to look at my phone real quick. Today is Thursday, August 15th, 2024, which I thought it was, but I just wanted to make sure. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great day so far, or not even so far, because this day is actually almost over. It's pretty late, this reading I'm doing, late enough anyway. But I hope that you have had a great day and that you are closing off the week strong. Can't believe it's Thursday already and tomorrow is Friday. So there's that. We're going to get right into this message. I want to definitely say thank you to all my new subscribers that have joined. I appreciate your presence here. Thank you to all current subscribers that have stuck around and tap in every now and again for a message. I appreciate you all. And to that point, definitely want to invite you to check out the Summer Soul Sale in the description box below to consider the services that are available for a limited time only, that being the summer. So check it out, see if you're interested, email me, and we'll take it from there. I may add one element to that. I'm not sure. I really kind of been wrestling with it because it's even more intimate of an offering than the 1111 questions and the personalized prayers. It's a little bit more involved and, definitely a bit more demanding of my energy. Well, I'll say commanding of my energy than the other two, but if the spirit moves me to do so, maybe that'll be something I'll showcase for September, because I'll leave the sale going up until the fall equinox. Okay, so let me cut it one more time and we're going to get right into it. That card, let's see what this is. Strength. Okay, it wouldn't like let go. I don't know if you could see that. It was like hanging on between the splits. So I don't know what that's about, but let's remember that. Now it's on top, so let's see what we got. The Page of Swords. Some observation perhaps of your strength or your power. You may be causing a scene right now. You may be a bit of a spectacle right now, where people are looking in, trying to catch a glimpse of either you in action or I just heard you in your natural habitat, whatever the heck that means. The jungle for the strength card? I don't know. But that is also Leo energy, which we are still in the midst of Leo season. So maybe your natural habitat is that supreme regal energy, that royal energy that is innate to the sign of Leo. Maybe you're exuding that at this time, that confidence, that creativity, that showmanship, boldness, what else? Even loyalty is sticking out to me. Some people may even be somehow like amazed or astonished by your loyalty, and I'm getting even more so to yourself than anything else. Like how it is that you maintain this focus and dedication to the best of you under what could potentially be challenging circumstances, maybe even a challenging surrounding when you think about the jungle, dangerous territory perhaps even. Yeah. Yeah. Something here about that. About, I mean, in true Leo form, this is main character energy, right? So, of course, it would make sense that if you're exuding that energy at all, whether you're a fire sign and have strong Leo in your chart or not, that people would be watching you like they watch TV. Maybe you are someone that has a platform or a social media space where you are a spectacle, and you're seeing an influx in your engagement. So I guess that's a good thing for the most part. Well, here's the the Page of Cups though. So it's like some people not only, oh man, back to back. Like, let's see. Well, it could be that some people are recognizing your value, and then here's the Justice. This is like two messages also though, or some information. But you know what? This is interesting because I'm seeing that with the Page of Swords, it's like he's almost standing on guard. Sometimes the Page of Swords, as we know, historically doesn't have the best connotation. It can almost be seen as someone that's a bit stalkerish or that's just too observant for their own good. But these are also carriers of information. So what I'm sensing here is that this could be two different energies or two different types of frequencies where some people or someone, let's just keep it at one, but it could be multiple. This Strength card just it wants to be the star of the show. So okay, I'll go off, girl, go off. But the Page of Swords is kind of looking almost threatening toward the Page of Cups to me. And in this case, particularly if we're talking about, and then here's the Hermit, I said that already, right? The Hermit and the Hierophant. I'm gonna get into that in a second. It feels like somebody wants to kind of approach with either some message of emotional essence, whether it's an apology, some term of endearment. It could be condolences. It could be flattery even. It could be a small offering of love, I would say, like pretty innocent, or I don't know, like it's not anything super substantial, I would say. And there could even be some ulterior motives attached to whatever it is the information could be here. But it's like one person would want to come forward offering this cup, whereas another is either kind of threatening someone not to do so, or their energy isn't encouraging of it. They rather watch from a distance and kind of just keep tabs or spy or carry information as they observe it, rather than actually approach for communication, is what I'm feeling between these two energies. Now, that came up on account of the King of, no, let's do this. She was under the deck. Let's do that. That came up on account of the King of Pentacles. So this is someone in a very stable and secure position. So it's given a bit opportunistic, which is why I'm sensing that there may be an ulterior motive attached with the Page of Cups, as emotionally endearing or motivated as that offer could be. And there's a reason why somebody can't take their eyes off of someone else because of something that they're either objectifying of this King of Pentacles possessions, or idolizing. One or the other Could be literally the idolizing, the objectifying right here that way. Then we got the Hermit, though. I'm sorry, not the Hermit yet, but the Hierophant, which, this could be a corporation or an organization. On the other side, it could be a coven or some type of secret society. Are these pledges? Oh, hold up. Hold on, this is, oh, wow. Wow, hold on now. This is getting real strange. Hold up. So we got, that's what they look like. They look like maybe pledges to some type of brotherhood or organization, or perhaps like candidates for a particular corporation, like, you know, applicants or, you know, candidates that have been identified as some potential, or they were. I don't know if they are anymore, because this feels way too submissive to me with the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords. I almost don't even like the fact that it's like page energy at all, because that's giving kid vibes. And why should, and here's a Judgment card. Why are these young tenderonis, so to speak, so submissive to these grown ass men? And I mean grown. We talking about the Hierophant and power figures as well. And this is giving some type, like the Hermit is not giving the Hermit energy that I'm used to. It's like almost giving, like, if you know, you know, like on, you know, a night when you might be like crossing the burning sands, or what you might wear at a probate before you like take off your cloak or your robe or whatever, and unveil your like your coming out fit with your lying brothers or lying sisters or whatever, you know what I mean? It's something, maybe I'm going off on the deep end, but it feels weird. And the Strength card just kept wanting to come out. And as I've said before, per your angelic karma, where there's strength, the devil is lurking. So why the heck are all these men lined up? Oh, and there's the Ace of Swords. Well, I rest my case. Not really, but hell, maybe this is, shit. Didn't I see the Justice card? Or did I say that when I was really looking at the Hermit, which could also be a judge? So this could be some type of like male secrets, you know, some type of male dominated organization, or some type of secret male society that is being judged and perhaps even being exposed, maybe even in some type of indictment or court of law, or I don't know, but I can't get over it's like so different. I mean, honestly, these are some of the most high-powered masculine energies in the deck. The Emperor, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the King of Pentacles. This could be some type of kingpin, you know, or some type of leader of like I would say a criminal organization, but maybe just something a little on the taboo side, or something not quite, maybe something a bit corrupt. It could also be a businessman or an entrepreneur too, like legit, but obviously there's something nefarious under the surface for all these guys. If this is the case, we got the Hierophant, who, as I said, could be a judge, could be a teacher, could be what else? A spiritual leader, like a pastor, a preacher, some type of spiritualist, could even be the leader of this organization, the Grand Poobah or whatever the hell. Then you got the Hermit, which, I don't know, he's giving henchman vibes to me, like real secretive. It may be someone, but also very wise, is the Hermit energy. So it could be some type of like spiritual guru of sorts, or maybe some type of mystic, whether self-proclaimed or appointed, whatever the case may be. But somebody, like, this is more of the structured religious organization of leadership. The Hermit may be somebody that's more in a spiritual function. Yeah. But somebody that has a bit of definitely a mystical persona. They may not even be a public figure per se, but somebody that may be revered, kind of like, depending on who you know, like you kind of got to know a guy to know a guy to know a guy to connect with an energy such as this one, the Hermit. Like, he's like somebody you would go to when you need some work done, or when you need some real, I don't know, some real tricky stuff done. And he's kind of like a shadow figure to some degree. And then you have the Emperor, who could be the leader of an empire, could be the head of an enterprise, could be the leader of a country. Definitely a public leader, could be a politician of some sorts. Definitely representing some type of public patriarchal figure of power. So what are all of y'all doing? Like, what are you guys doing with these youngsters? Huh? Don't nobody know nothing? In the words of Nino Brown. Ain't nobody got nothing to say? Because the Judgment card is here, so somebody's going to have to get to talking. And maybe it's these energies that have begun to start talking as witnesses, the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords. And that is the energy I was feeling, where somebody wants to say something bad, but somebody kind of wants to almost like slit their throat, so to speak, or at least keep them from talking. So there could be two different motivations on what gets to be shared, or they could even be blackmailing, because here they're really, it's like there's a direct proposition to the King of Pentacles, who's holding the bag, right? So maybe there's some type of disagreement here between witnesses, or between perhaps victims, so to speak, that they don't seem like victims to me, though. That may be witnesses. Like I said, they could have even been pledges to gain access or entry into this organization. Maybe they were rejected, and that's where the disgruntled energy is coming from, because they can't be apart for whatever reason. So it could be some type of blackmail situation, even though this isn't the Page of Pentacles, which would definitely make more sense. But that's what I'm feeling. It's like maybe somebody wants to kind of appeal to an emotional, maybe somebody in love with this man, or they either, like I said, I feel a deep submission here, and to me it's just like, why so submitted? Is it really that deep to be a part of this, or are there some type of distorted emotions attached to someone or something about this organization? And it perhaps could only be one person that's kind of like threatening the exposure of the whole, or has, and this is the person that was kind of supposed to keep him in check or keep him in line, maybe even keep his emotions in check, you know, to kind of reason with him, or else off with his head type of energy, because this is way too much power at stake to be exposed, even though, like, if the judgment card is already here, then it's already happened. That means somebody knows more than what they need to know, more than enough, I should say, of what they need to know to either build a case, to expose the truth, perhaps to admonish some of these high-powered individuals, if not prosecute. Certainly some people may, you know, fall from grace of their positions, their affluence, their influence, their prosperity, you know, and that could happen even in the ways of just having to now protect yourself legally because of the accusations, or to do damage control on account of things that have been lost, maybe business deals, associates, endorsements, investments, things like that. Like, these individuals are getting hit where it hurts. That's what I'm seeing. But let's see here. Well, give me something between. This isn't going to be a long reading. Let me just get a couple clarifiers, and I'm getting out of here, because I don't know what this is, and I don't feel like it right now. Like, I didn't come here for this. Let's see what the Page of Swords and the Page, what they got in common. Let's see. Let me just get one. Oh, and it's in reverse. Let's see. No way. Another page. A Page of Wands in reverse. Somebody's already been silenced or disabled, whatever that means, because the Page of Pentacles is action oriented. So somebody has already been stopped in the process. This could maybe somebody that was made an example out of. You know, like, this is what happens when you run your mouth type of energy. Which could even amount to this Page of Cups being some hint of fear, now that I'm seeing it that way. It's like there's a fish in that cup because they have a range of emotions that aren't great. That's the reason for the submission, because they might be just as nervous and fearful as they are, you know, imbalanced at this time for what they've incurred, which they feel like somehow devout to or stuck, connected with. And they don't want to end up sleeping with the fishes, so to speak, on account of expressing their emotions. But there's a part of them that absolutely wants to share. They may not even feel like they have anyone they can trust, or they didn't know who they could trust to express their grievances. Because there's evidence of what happens when you step out of line and become a threat to this organization. This person may have even thought that they had a friend on the inside, or it could have been like a lover, you know, or somebody they got more emotionally attached to or real friendly with. But we know there's no honor among thieves, and whatever it is that's going on here, it ain't honest. It ain't upright. They all are in the upright because that's their personas, that's their facade, that's their public, you know, presentation. But wow, and here's the Empress. It's a lot of things peeking up at me here. The Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords again, and I saw, yeah, no, that's not what I saw. That's the Two of Wands. It was the Seven of Cups. So there's some illusion here about there either is or was. I'm not really sure. This could be active or this could be past tense at this point, you know, or coming to a theater near you. I don't know. But the Empress is here. What's this? This is calling me to look at here. The Queen of Swords. So that could even be a lawyer or a prosecutor or something of that nature. And you know, like the sentimentality here that I'm sensing with the Empress is if this is someone that's kind of leading the charge, it's like different. Especially with this Hierophant here, this could have even been an organization that had layers of protection in the male order, you know, in the male capacity where they had people in high places. Obviously, this is a judge, so they were protected by their brotherhood in different spaces. But who's not in the brotherhood, though, would be the Queen of Swords and the Empress. And even the Strength energy, which I still haven't quite connected to why that was so insistent on being seen yet. But it could even be representative of these forces here where somebody is very persistent and bold in their accusations and in their investigation and in whatever way they press forward, because they don't have any affinity for this secret society. They're not in it. And certainly the Empress is here because this appeal is like the perfect balance. It's like they can be objective enough, you know, to drive the case fairly and, you know, be in the frequency of justice with due process. But there's something about it that pulls on their like maternal instincts, or even if they don't have kids, but just the nature of being a woman and almost innately having those instincts within you, whether you have kids or not. Like that softer side of you that's more sympathetic and empathetic and nurturing. That if these are young energies, which there's a reason why, these are not knights. These are children. Knights are more young vibes, like young people. Pages are more childlike. And they're, like I said, these are established, mature energies, some of the most established in the deck. There's a stark difference here for a reason, a very sinister reason, I sense. So someone is incited by their duty in oath, perhaps, or their obligation in office, but also as a woman or a nurturing human being, to have a certain like empathy for whatever this is over here. And that's kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back, because this order could be doing many things. But when it became evident that there were delicate, vulnerable, maybe even in some ways defenseless, because the Page of Wands is in the reverse. Defenseless energies involved here. It's no holds barred for that, and that's probably also why the Judgment is here, because that just can't be tolerated. It just Let's see what's next between the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. What's that connection? Yeah, they thought they had a friend. This is the Seven of Pentacles. It could have, there could have been some, I want to move this down, but it's kind of helping me keep it lined up, and you know that matters to me. But this Page of Pentacles may have either invested in this had an emotional investment in this connection here. This Page of Cups, may have established an emotional connection, of which there was perhaps maybe an exchange. This could be even money being exchanged. This could, oh my goodness, this could be some type of trafficking energy where somebody then fell in love with one of the concubines or something, like, and did so maybe perhaps, or vice versa, or both, I don't know, but it's still a conflict of interest, because either this person tricked a lot of money off on someone that maybe he forged a connection with in a very, nefarious way, or somebody thought that they could be more trusting of this energy to invest their emotional insecurities or their truth or something with them. And either way, it's not really profitable for either one. Not really. It's either the conflict of interest between this King of Pentacles and the rest of his homeboys, that he done fell in love with the help, pretty much, the product at that, maybe even. Lord forgive me, because I don't mean it that way, but in their eyes. Or from the standpoint of manipulating this vulnerable energy, it really wasn't, if it ain't really tricking if you got it, as they say, right? So it wasn't much for him to maybe peel off some money or do some extra things for this person or this connection to kind of like gain his trust or gain his devotion in some strange way. Like, I don't know, it's weird. But really it didn't mean much for him, for the King of Pentacles. It might have meant something for the Page of Cups, thinking they really had a connection, but it was really maybe even fun and games for the King of Pentacles, if just not something to do or some other way to kind of flex their strength and authority and influence, because it's not the money that matters, I don't think, but whatever this relationship amounted to be, maybe that's the entry point of the threat to the rest, because of this intimacy here, where some lines were crossed, and this energy maybe was privy to more than what they should have known, like some pillow talking or something like that, because of this more intimate bond here. Whether it was illusionary or not, either way, that could be the gateway. It's like somebody's looking at what it all was worth in the end. Like, what did I do? What was the point? Because this could be the weak link that ultimately could blow the whistle on everybody, and the direct line of connection that everybody kind of knows is the King of Pentacles, but they would probably have never imagined that the connection would have been so deep that it could cause interference for the rest of business as usual, or to perhaps even expose some secrets, or whatever the tea that's being spilled in that with that Page of Cups. It's a straight line, a beeline to the King of Pentacles, because he would have been the only one that could have been like the leak, or the like the one that would have the access point of information for this otherwise distant character. What's on the bottom? Yeah, like, the Knight of Wands. There's some freaky stuff going on here. There's some freaky stuff going on here. And yeah, they could have been stigmatized. I mean, like in some way, shape, or form. And it was kind of disguised as love, or some type of, maybe more seduction. I keep saying love, but it's seduction. And hell, maybe the Page of Cups knew what the hell he was doing by seducing this energy, kind of alluring him in to have access to more information. I don't know. It feels like a lot going on here. But whatever it is, this is the leak. This is the leak. And it's like somebody was thinking with their little head and not their big head. Apparently many of them were. But certainly in this case, because they allowed their lust to kind of take the lead. And now they don't have much good to show for it. Let me see what's next here. This is wow. That's too many. It was 3. I'm not taking all that. But that was the 6 of Wands on the top of a couple of cards. Yeah, here's the holding on right here, the 4 of Pentacles. It's like somebody's trying to hold it together. That's what I really get. Because they're straddling the middle ground between probably trying to keep this guy soothed and stable and under control, like maybe even trying to convince him, to keep quiet or to chill. Like maybe that's where the seduction part is coming in, where there may be some effort to manipulate that energy into kind of like piping down, like chilling out or whatever. Because what they're straddling is, if this is the leader and this is some type of, a member of the organization, it seems like he damn near on the outside of the inner sanctum anyway, as this, maybe he didn't quite have the end to the core of the group. Perhaps, even in the difference of how I explain, like this could be some type of like criminal boss or something, where all of these guys are more professionally established. So he probably was already kind of like too hot anyway, that could draw some attention to the situation. But maybe he has some great benefit, probably money or access or something. But it feels like he was kind of kept more on the outskirts anyway. But enough, of course, to know enough that would be incriminating, and just sheerly by association could be a threat. So it's like he's holding on to dear life for his access, because at this point he's a threat. No, even if he can't, it feels like the only reason why there is a connection being maintained here is for them to kind of lord over how he's going to handle this threat here. Like, this is your problem, now you better fix it type of energy. Like, just trying to kind of micromanage how he's going to manage this Page of Cups, who could be somebody like emotionally imbalanced, unstable. You know, it's like nobody really wants to be hands-on with that, but nobody wants it to be a loose cannon either, you know. So the only reason why he's still holding on for dear life, thinking that if he can, you know, satisfy this issue, that maybe it will buy him lenience or grace, but really they're just waiting to make sure that he handles the issue before they either cut him loose or maybe even banish him out further than he already kind of is. You know, like outcast him or excommunicate him or something like that. Yeah, with the Eight of Swords, because nobody wants to go to jail. Nobody wants to be incriminated. Nobody, you know, that's everybody's fear at this point, to be incarcerated by these allegations, whether it be actually, like I said, in a court of law and some type of legal proceedings or another, even if they have to settle and be, you know, somehow kind of binded in a material sense, or for their identities and associations to be exposed in a way that would entrap their enterprises or their advancements, you know, their prosperity. So they got a whole lot to lose and not much to gain. Yeah, this is the Six of Wands, like wanted to make some type of escape, find some type of out of this threat. Let's see what's on the bottom. Wow, Five of Swords. Yeah, it's getting nutty because everybody's so anxious now, and because of this vulnerability, nobody trusts anybody. And now it feels like people are just trying to take matters into their own hand, like literally scattering, trying to figure a way out or take cover, find some extra layer of security, an alibi, you know, some type of way. You know, like when you do too much trying to cover your tracks, that you actually, you know, actually highlight them. Like, I'm over here. Somebody's over trying to barter this deal or move money over here, or, you know, establish against some type of alibi or security, maybe hiring hella lawyers, you know what I mean? But whatever it's doing, it's like everybody's really, it may be a matter of people not trusting one another, but it's more so every man for himself. You know, everybody's trying to secure their own interest here. But what it's doing is it's drawing, or did, I don't know, whichever one, is drawing more heat to the situation. Because the more one person steps out of character to bust a move over here, and then the other does his move over here, it's just, it's like giving that watchful eye, that bird's eye view. That could even really be the Strength card, like I said, that Queen of Swords, Empress energy is from the bird's eye view, from that perch of surveillance, so to speak. It's actually drawing attention to all the dotted lines, all the moving parts, all the pieces of the puzzle. You know, whereas if everybody would have kind of just sat still and stayed calm and maybe let this situation kind of handle itself, or at least let the person that created it handle it, there might not have been such a I don't know, like such a watchful eye drawn to it, you know, so much incriminating evidence that began to kind of like build the case itself, you know, or maybe fill in the missing pieces, or the the blanks for what the authorities may not have known otherwise. All right, what's between the Emperor and the Hermit? This came out again, the Six of Wands. I feel like the Emperor and the Hermit, these might be the go-to energies to, it's given like public appearances though. To kind of save face for the public. It's like something mystical, as I said with the Hermit. It's like the one who's kind of like maybe the puppet master or the one working the magic behind the scenes, like, you know, the shadow. Oh, the shadow government with the Emperor. And so yeah, it's something about like the true leaders, that's what that is. Ooh, this is deep, y'all. So it's the faces running a nation that you don't see. Like I said, the ones pulling the strings, right? That would be the great hope for some type of escape or absolution or exoneration in this part. And, you know, at this point, those are the ones that kind of have the greatest access to bury evidence or make something go away, but it's too close to the judgment. So that's what's anticipated, that's what's hoped for, and that's also what's being projected as if like everything is fine, nothing to see here. Like the public puppet, so to speak, is being paraded as if there's nothing going on. You know, like almost as a decoy or a distraction or diversion from what's going on under the surface, like what may be happening behind closed doors that is already exposed, but it matters to kind of keep straight face for the public, to kind of save what influence and power and authority there is left. Otherwise, there'd be no hope at all for getting out of this mess, themselves or anyone else attached to it. And at this point, there's a greater stake to really kind of like cover the whole operation, because like I said, with that Five of Swords, you wouldn't really want to leave anybody out in the open air to start talking or being pressured to say things that would incriminate everybody else. Child, what the heck? So this could be something deep to be uncovered. And then we had the Empress. Oh my God. Hold up, let me see one more before I say what I'm going to say. And then it's the Six of Pentacles again, which is that facade of benevolence, like everything's fine, you know, we're helping the needy, we're one big happy family, everybody's safe here. You know, it's like trying to put these images out of reassurance to distract from a disturbance, a great disturbance that's happening. And it might be a matter of something that can't not be exposed. Could be about our leadership in place now, our so-called leadership, of course. You know, like something could be about to be exposed in that regard in a way that might incite a transference of power, and that's what that Empress was about. And you know who the Empress is in this moment. If there happens to be say, an impeachment or something that happens where, you know, the head of state would absolutely have to step down and stand down more than he's already had to so-called stand down. This might be something that gets accelerated to transfer that power more immediately than what we may think we're looking forward to on the timeline down the road. Child, let me get one more. Wow, with the Sun card, and that's exposure. This is going to be something that cannot be hidden, can't be concealed, can't be denied. But now the thing is, what it's being projected to be, though, like the reasoning why something has to happen and why, you know, I'm getting the sense that it will seem like it's all in the order of, you know, the natural order of society, that this is what happens. If somebody has to step down, then somebody has to step in. But what's really happening behind the scenes, though, is this something that was orchestrated to forge that outcome for a very specific agenda? Ultimately, I would say, to gain, really to seize, not just gain, but to seize confidence in that side of the aisle ahead of the big moment of decision, if you follow me, to try to gain more traction, more buy-in, you know, more donations, perhaps, like more sacrifices. Let's be real about it, to invest in, you know, invest their faith and invest their energy and their confidence into what is already established before it's a matter of choosing something altogether new, which it would be at the end of this year. So I don't know, I could be way off with that, but that just came through like, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna say it plain. At the beginning of the last election, right, I had resolved from a spiritual perspective, foremost, that I would not be participating. And this would be the first election of any that I've been able to vote in, that I had abstained. When I made that decision, I got admonished like nobody's business from my family. Like, how could you not exercise that right? And da-da-da-da-da-da, and you need to choose something, you know, this is a crucial election, and yada, yada, yada. And I said, particularly to my father, I said, I cannot, in good faith, invest my energy into this process this year. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel upright. And I didn't want to invest in it. I felt convicted that my one vote matters that much, more so for how I get to be affected based on who I choose, you know? So therefore, I didn't feel confident enough. I was no longer drinking the Kool-Aid of exercising the right to choose the, you know, the best of two evils, or the lesser of two evils, or whatever. At that time, and not to say anybody was particularly evil, but what I said specifically is, I don't think President B, you know, or then VP B, is going to make it full term. And then what? Then you want, at that time I called her Kamala because some part of me still feels like that's her real name, but Miss Harris to run your country? Is that what you really want? Now, I didn't know a lot about her. at that time, but my spiritual sense didn't feel confident in that gamble, no matter what. And now here we are at this point where we're all pretty much at the home stretch. I mean, there wouldn't be a lot of time for such, I mean, they already kind of have moved her into almost like being the figurehead in the role now, much more than she has been for the past 4 years, that we really haven't seen much of her, which makes sense, of course, you know, on track for where we're headed in November. But I'm talking about something more permanent, more definite now could occur. And it could actually be something that, you know, is, damn, that would be messed up if they sacrifice old Joe like that. Like they ain't know about some nefarious acts that have been happening long since. It could be something that gets dredged up into the light now to be the soapbox to stand on, or just the right opportunity to, you know, take them out. Maybe not actually, God forbid, but to sit them down indefinitely, you know, and then slide her in. So I don't know. And I still don't know how I holistically feel about that option for the country, and certainly for my vote, you know, which is probably why most likely I'll probably do the same thing that I did before, or as I've spoken of before, vote for my damn self. If I can write myself on the bill, I mean on the ballot, that may be the only productive way that I would participate. And I would honestly encourage the same of many, not because I really want to be the head of state, or that I think it would even hold weight in the physical form, in the sense that like somebody that would be written in would be the one to be appointed. But I feel like it makes a greater statement energetically, spiritually, and you know, like politically, to really show on paper the void in trust for leadership, just simply based on experience and evidence thus far. You know, there's no amount of pep rallies with rappers and pom-poms and banners that's going to change what's already occurred over the past 4 years. For some, now for most, it's the pomp and circumstance that's needed, you know. But anyway, I digress. But there's something about something much bigger than my pay grade, at least in the material sense, on the table in a big way. And with the Judgment and the Sun, I feel like either it's something that couldn't be contained even with the best efforts to keep it contained, or it's that, but it's also being used for a different purpose and agenda, an ulterior motive, so to speak, where it's already been known. And even if it's like busting at the seams at this point to be public knowledge, it would be the thing that would just happen to be right on time to kind of fuel the agenda for something else and someone else, you know. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. But with this Strength card, like that's a fierce feline energy right there. Like, so and get into it, is someone that on sight, as you see, the feminine energy is more ethereal looking, in the white and the garland and the wreath and all of that. But under her skirt, though, is a beast. So it's somebody that on sight seems to be a bit harmless, you know, that seems to be diplomatic, that seems to be, you know, for the people, or self-contained and controlled, and even strong, you know, in a soft way though. But I don't know. And get into it. I said that the Queen of Swords was either maybe could be a lawyer or a prosecutor, and that came up with the Empress. So I don't know what the heck is going on here, but don't be surprised. I mean, we still got some Mercury retrograde left. It has actually now, it's in Leo now. Interestingly enough, it's out of Virgo, and I think today or yesterday was the day that it transits backwards into Leo. So anything is possible on the world stage now to be exposed, but just be keen on what it is you're actually witnessing. Yeah, here's this coin here, like, and the Justice. I said, did I see the Justice earlier? Look at this shit here. Trying to bring a foundation down for, you know, and by justified means to the naked eye. But what is the objective here? To gain more donations, to campaign, to grow your investments and your interests? What is it? And then we got the Three of Wands down here that I see peeking up at me, which is some expectation for a return. And what's under here? And the Two of Damn Pentacles. Yeah, this could be, it could be something that comes up on one side of the aisle or the other that is solely for the purposes of empowering this this campaign almost from like an accelerated point, maybe pretty much trying to catch up, because at this point everything's been kind of like go Joe until it wasn't. So maybe there's some catching up to do, and there's a scheme in place to get it done. I don't know. Just be mindful of the propaganda, and if I were you, I just wouldn't buy into much of it at all. Certainly don't invest too much emotional energy into it, because they're hoping that most people will be blind to the tricks and maybe even donate and give blindly, almost feeling disempowered in some way, like they have no choice otherwise. Like somehow, you know, she's the last hope for the nation or something. It's like, I don't think so. I'm not too convinced on that. My spirit feels otherwise, but I'm gonna leave this here because this was weird. This was weird, but you take from it as you will, and I shall see one and all on tomorrow. All right. Whew, I'm hot. Until next time, as always, I leave. Oh, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, first and foremost. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.